Hello dear students, welcome to the lecture series of Object-Oriented Programming. In this lecture, we are going to see how to overload binary operator with an example. At the end of this lecture, you will be able to construct a program for binary operator overloading. Let us see what is binary operators. As the name suggests, those operators which operate on two operands or data are called as a binary operators. You know the different binary operators such as addition operator, subtraction operator, modulo operator, AND operator, assignment operator, etc. We can overload those operators. Let us see how that operator overloading can be implemented. Now here I want to perform the addition of two complex number. You know that complex number consists of two parts. The first part is the real part and the second part is the imaginary part. So here in my class complex, I have two data members as x and y. X will take care of real part and y will take care of imaginary part. In the public section of my class complex, I have a constructor as a default constructor over here, and I have a parameterized constructor which is of type float, which has the parameters of type float, that is real and imaginary parameter. Now those this parameterized constructor will help me to initialize the value of real and imaginary part of my objects. Next, I have a function as a display function which will help me to display the real part and imaginary part of my object. Now, if you observe the main function, I have different objects over here. I have C1, C2 and C3. So, C1 will have a real part as well as the imaginary part. C2 will have a real part as well as imaginary part. So, that real and imaginary part will be displayed using that display function. And here I have a complex operator function. Now here if you observe the syntax, I have the return type of that function followed by the operator as a keyword followed by the symbol. Now here I want to overload the binary plus operator, so I have a symbol of a addition followed by the parameters which I want to pass. Now here, as it is a declaration, here the type of parameter has been given. Now let us see how it is defined. Operator function is defined. Here I have return type of a complex followed by the class name which is complex followed by the scope resolution operator which indicates that operator function belongs to the class complex followed by the operator which is my keyword followed by the symbol which I am going to use to overload, that is my plus operator over here. And in the parameter list, I have a single argument pass over here, which is of type complex. Okay. Now, the addition of real number and imaginary number will be performed over here. Now, this x will come from the object C1, that is x is the real part of object C1 and C dot x is the imaginary part of C2, real part of C2, and the addition of that two objects ka real part will be stored in temp.x. In the same way, y is the imaginary part of C1 whereas C dot y is the imaginary part of C2, and the addition of that imaginary part will be stored in temp.y. So this is how the complex operator function will be defined over here. Now here I have in the main function three objects as I told you. For the first object I am going to pass the arguments. I am going to pass the values as 2.5 as a real number, 3.5 as a imaginary number. For object C2 I am going to pass the value 1.6 as the real number whereas 2.7 as the imaginary number. And here C3 is equal to C1 plus C2 will perform the addition of these two complex number and I will get the output as 4.1 as a real number and 6.2 as a imaginary number. Okay, and finally that C1, C2 and C3 with real part and the imaginary part, those complex number will be displayed on the screen. Okay, so this is how the addition has been performed for the complex number using the addition or binary plus operator. Now let us see how the operator overloading is implemented in the function operator. This is the simple diagram which demonstrates the operator overloading concept for the program which we have implemented. Now In the operator overloading function, this is my operator overloading function, and in this function the function receives only one argument, okay, and that argument is of complex type, and it is receive explicitly, okay. The return type is of complex, okay, and it is the member function of a class complex, okay. So this is how we have defined our function, operator function here, okay. Now let me explain you in detail. If you observe, it takes only one argument, okay. If you observe over here, it takes only one argument. Now if you observe, C3 is equal to C1 plus C2 function, okay. C1 takes the responsibility of evoking the function, whereas C1 takes the responsibility of evoking the function, whereas C2 plays the role of an argument that is passed to the function. That means whatever C2 I am going to pass, whatever the values for C2 I am going to pass, those values will be passed as an argument, and that's the reason when I pass those values through that argument C, the values of the object C2 will be given to the equation over here, okay, which is going to perform the addition of two numbers, okay. Now if you observe the statement C3 is equal to C1 plus C2 over here in this program, okay, that can be written as C3 is equal to C1 dot operator plus C2, okay. Data members of C1 are accessed directly. If you observe over here, the data members of C1 can be accessed directly, that is x and y. We have not used any dot operator, or we have not used any argument for accessing the values of C1, which is the object of my class. But when I want to access the data members of C2, which is passed as an argument, okay, those data members of C2 are accessed using the dot operator, okay. Now as I told you, C2, the values for C2, the data members of C2, that is x and y, they are passed through that argument, okay. Here the argument is C, okay. So that's the reason through that argument, using the dot operator, the data members of C2 object are accessed, and so now both the objects are available to the function, that is the values of object C1 and the values of object C2, that is x and y of C1 and x and y of C2 are available to the function, and so the addition can be performed, okay. Now if you observe here, temp dot x is equal to C1 dot x plus x, that is a real part, and temp dot y is equal to C dot y plus y, that is the imaginary part. Here C1 dot x refers to the object C2, and this x refers to the object C1. That means the real part of C2 and the real part of C1. In the same way, here C dot y refers to the imaginary part of C2, and only y without any argument and dot operator refers to the imaginary part of C1, okay. And that function returns the complex temp, okay, that is real part, the result temp dot x, and the imaginary part temp dot y, and it will be stored in the object C3, okay. It will be stored in the object C3. So of course the C3 will also have the real part and the imaginary part. So this is how the operator can be overloaded, binary operator can be overloaded for addition of two complex numbers. Please remember that the left hand operand is used to evoke the operator function, whereas the right hand operand is passed as an argument. If you observe the function over here, if you observe the equation over here, this is my left hand operand and C dot x is my right hand operand. So this x operand is going to evoke the operator function, and this right hand operand is passed as an argument. If you observe here, we have only passed a single argument in our function, okay, a single argument in our function, and so This C1 will help us to evoke the operator function, whereas this this C2 will be operand is passed as an argument. Okay, so this is how the operator the binary operators can be overloaded in C++. I hope you have understood the addition of two complex number and how we have overloaded the binary operators. So we'll meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Happy learning.